On that topic, we'll bring in Nelson Balido, the Border Commerce and Security Council Chairman. Charles Marino is here too, former DHS Senior Advisor. Thank you both for being on. Nelson, I'll start with you on this. Just reaction overall to Jason's reporting and what could potentially happen with these cartels, these crime organizations under a Trump presidency.
Well, I think first, thanks for having me. But I'll tell you that the thing is that this is something that's been a long time coming. They've been warned. Mexico's been warned now for the better part of 6-7 years that these are terrorist organizations, and they continue to fight and not even name them. They want to do everything that they can not to call them terrorist organizations, but that's what they are. These are terrorist organizations, many that are driven by China, and with fentanyl and these precursors in order to disrupt the United States, our youth, and coming over here and messing with our communities. And so if you look at the root cause of what's happening between the cartels of them moving the products, the Chinese that are infiltrating throughout Mexico and being an ally, those are things that need to be taken care of. To hear Donald Trump say that, this is something that absolutely needs to happen. Now, Mexico doesn't believe this is going to happen. Mexico doesn't believe that we're going to have interaction. There's not going to be interaction within their borders. But this is something that has to be done because they don't do it themselves. So they've been told, either you take care of the problem or we're going to take care of it for you. People like Tom Homan that was just appointed Border Czar by Donald Trump, that's the other catalyst. How do we get rid of the problems that these people have started also coming into the United States? So if you think about what's going to happen over the next year, I think there's going to be an absolute turnaround in what's happening in Mexico, the cartel violence, and really, this is a saving grace for Mexico and their people.
Yeah, they might want to rethink it now that Tom's going to be in the mix here. And I misspoke last time, not DHS, but Border Czar. We learned this announcement on Truth Social, talking about Tom Homan, former acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who backed Trump's zero tolerance policy, going to serve as Border Czar. Trump sharing on Truth Social, I'm pleased to announce that former ICE director and stalwart on border control, Tom Homan, will be joining the Trump administration in charge of our nation's border, the Border Czar, including but not limited to the southern border, the northern border, all maritime and aviation security. I've known Tom for a long time. There's nobody better at policing and controlling our borders. Likewise, Tom Homan will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin. Congratulations to Tom. I've got no doubt he will do a fantastic and long-awaited for job. Charles, tell me about this pick and what this means for the Trump administration.
Well, obviously a fantastic selection, but let me tell you why this is so important. Not only is he now appointed somebody with the expertise in border and immigration security, but he's actually going to be backed by the President of the United States with effective policies and programs and diplomacy. Things like designating the cartels, for example, as you were just discussing, foreign terrorist organizations, which let's remember why we need to do that now. It's because the past 4 years under Biden and Harris have empowered the cartels like no time in their history, both financially and operationally. So now designating them as terrorist organizations is going to give Tom Homan the tools that he needs to solve the problem here within the interior of the United States in terms of mass deportation of national security threats, securing our borders, and this messaging and this designation will slow the migration to the United States. So it's going to give us a break from the rush of illegal migrants making the journey here because of the overall deterrence from the administration. And part of that deterrence is naming somebody like Tom Homan to the position of Border Czar. This all works. Everybody's received the message.
Sure. And for those that need a refresher on Tom Homan, the former acting ICE director, there was a tense exchange between Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. If maybe you need this to jog your memory, we do have it. Watch this.
You recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in a car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his family.
Mr. Homan, with all due respect, Legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you enter the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Okay, well, now you know why Tom Homan was picked. I mean, you can just mic drop it right there. Nelson, just your reaction.
Listen, Tom Homan is absolutely the guy that's equipped to secure our borders and beyond. And this is something that needs to happen. It's a long time coming. And like we mentioned, the cartels know no borders. They're in the United States. They're in Mexico. They're in Canada. They're across the ocean. They know no borders. The idea is to disrupt the United States, our youth, our communities, and it's time that we put a stop to this. And Tom Homan is the guy that's going to go in there, no kidding, and be able to address the issue with proper respect for everyone, but ultimately for the American citizen to feel safer, not only foreign and domestically, when they travel and when they're here. So having Tom Homan there, Trump, is the right pick. And I know on January 20th, this is where it's going to start. And the Border Commerce and Security Council is absolutely behind this action and certainly supportive of Donald Trump and Tom Homan.
Sure. Yeah, he does not mess around. That is very, very clear from that interaction there. Gentlemen, we've got to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on this Veterans Day, by the way. Nelson and Charles, we appreciate your time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. All right, still to come.